What am I thankful for? Great suppliers in the RV industry like MORryde. Tune in as I sit down with Jack Enfield and we talk about new innovations from this great company. Hey everybody, welcome to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast powered by Heartland RV. We are here obviously on site at MORryde International with my good friend Jack Enfield. Want to talk about this lull before we start our marathon season with show season starting with Cleveland in 2023. I've been using the last couple months as the markets kind of slowed down a little bit to really just start reaching out to the end customer. You know, they want to hear more transparency, more information, more communication, not just with what we're doing within our portfolio, but also all of our partnered suppliers. So, you know, a lot of you, we had a very successful 2022 year. Many of you already know MORryde with the quality products like the Zero-G ramp door, the step above systems, the upgraded pin box, the CRE 3000, the independent suspension that you see with DRV. By no means are they just an exclusive supplier to us. You're going to probably see MORryde on every manufacturing brand that's out there. So just kind of to recap 2022, how has it been for you and your team?
Yeah, outstanding, awesome. As you pointed out, the industry had more business than it really knew what to do with, and they tried to cram it all in. What we have to do during that time is we obviously have to serve customers. That means the manufacturer, so that means coming up with new products, coming up with innovation. It means providing existing products and serving it well. It also means, though, planning for the future. So we go to a lot of shows and events, nowhere near as much as you do, but we just do a lot of events. And what we're trying to do is ask that customer, what do you want? What do you need? What are the pain points? What are the things that would make it better? So our job, whether it's in the downturn or whether it's in the expansion time, is to find products that work, stand behind them, and help that RVer enjoy the product more so he can enjoy the lifestyle even more.
And the one thing that I really appreciate with your leadership, Jack, we've had people that were at our rallies. I've met, consumers at shows that said, man, we go up to MORryde, they've got a pen and paper in hand. And that's the one thing that I always give you guys credit for, you, Daryl, and your team relative to R&D. You're always listening to what those heartburns are and looking to provide a quality solution, to those demands. So as we look to 2023, we shared with our Heartland owners, we're going to be more accessible, setting up, a welcome booth for all of our current owners so they can see us and engage with us more, give us feedback on interior decors and, forward thinking to what we want to, develop in 2023 and beyond. I know you embrace that as well. So just to kind of let everybody know, relative specifically to show season, where are some of the big shows that you guys are going to start off in January, just so people can find MORryde and see some of these new innovations that you have?
Yeah, we love the show season for a couple reasons. One, I live in Elkhart, Indiana. I love to go to Tampa in January.
Yeah, right.
Of course I want to do that. But Cleveland, we'll go to Cleveland, we'll go to Tampa, we'll go to Minneapolis, we'll go to Detroit, we'll go to Houston. That's in the first 5 weeks. And what are we doing there? Obviously, we're showing what we have, explaining it, but we're asking, what is it? So one of the new products that's coming next year is a slide-out tray for griddles. Why are we doing that? Because we kept on hearing, I want to cook on a griddle. Where do I store it? Where do I put it? So we're going to respond to that and come out with new products that way. So for us, January and February is all about the shows. And then in March, we transition to the rallies. We love Owners Clubs. So when you talk about what you're doing with the Heartland Owners Clubs, we love that because it's an intimate time to get to know customers better and really ask, what is it that you want? And our independent suspension system has grown among Heartland owners because we go to your rallies and we listen and we say, hey, guess what? If you're that full-time, or if you're that person, you want to go to Alaska, or you know what, you just have this really nice unit and you want to protect it, let us talk to you about how to do that. And so it's just a great vehicle, great forum for us to do that.
The other thing too that I just want to make sure that the listeners, if whether you're viewing this on our YouTube channel or you're tuning in onto the podcast recording itself, this year, as you know, very diverse in first-time owners, right? The demand was the highest it's ever been. So we have a lot of new people that are new to seeing your logo. And the one thing that I want to point out and remind everybody, in this interview, as you and I kind of catch up, we talked a lot about, obviously, you are a OEM supplier to us. But the one thing that I really wanted to push, and just give you that stage to let everybody know who's listening, MORryde has a huge catalog of aftermarket products as well. So when you guys are at the shows, of course you're there to support, all of us manufacturers, answer questions about, maintenance or, any of the accessory items that you guys make. But I just want to give you a few minutes for people that don't know MORryde. Within the portfolio, if you could just briefly kind of outline by category some of the different products that are available, regardless of the manufacturer that they chose.
Yeah, no, thanks for that opportunity. One of the things, once a customer has an RV, the best way to keep him in the lifestyle is to help him to enjoy that. Well, not every RV is built exactly the way they want it, so they want to do upgrades. So the suspension area, what's our pitch there is roads are rough, and RVs more than ever today are houses on wheels going over rough roads. So we have a full range of suspension systems to improve the performance, to just protect that house on wheels from damaging road shock. We also need to protect the structural integrity, so there's things like heavy-duty shackle kits and cross members. And oh, by the way, when you're towing a fifth wheel, you just don't want that jerking, that chucking, that bucking. So we have upgraded pin boxes. So we call it tip-to-tail towing, and what we're looking for is we just want to improve the performance, we want to protect the trailer from damaging road shock, and then we want to make sure that things don't break down. From there, we get into some of the convenience items. So for example, sliding cargo trays. Customers have storage, but then they put something in the middle of the tray, in the middle of the storage bin, and oh, I don't want to get that out because I have to take everything out to put everything back in.
Right.
And so sliding trays. So we have a full range of big trays, large trays, and small trays for batteries, freezers, LP, and then just stuff. So sliding trays. As a matter of fact, that category in 2022 probably had the most growth of anything. For a while, it was seen as just a motorhome product, but now fifth wheels and even travel trailers are using sliding trays. So that led to things like a griddle sliding tray, because customers are saying, what about griddles? Another area is stabilization. When you get to the campsite and it's a windy day, you just don't want to feel all that movement. Or we hear customers talk, I got this 100-pound dog and the dog runs through the trailer and I feel every movement. Well, the reason is because you put on jacks and you jack up the unit, and so now you've raised the center of gravity. So we have a full line of stabilizer products so that when you're walking through the trailer when it's windy, you just don't feel that movement back and forth. That was really a big product to feature in 2022. Our step above has been around. It helped change the industry back in 2017. Steps that went all the way to the ground. It's safer, it's more stable. And then customers said, well, you know what, that's great, but I still have to do the dance. I have to walk up the steps, I grab the door, I walk down the steps to open the door, then I walk back up. So an inventor, an RVer came to us and said, hey, what about extending the latch? So we did a latch extender. Then we had customers say, well, that's great, but you know what, I have that Linda hand and it's a good product, but at some point I'm going up and down backwards because I don't feel good, I'm hanging on to it. So we came up with a safety rail, and it's just like a chair rail in a house. And so now you have full connection all the way up. So that's a new product, and that's gone over exceptionally well. And then there's more to come just because we listen to customers. We're just asking, what is it that you want, what is it that you need, and what will make your lifestyle better? One of the products we've had for about 6 or 7 years is cord reels, because customers, they hate 50-amp power
cords.
They're heavy. They're heavy. And if you're camping north of the Mason-Dixon line in the fall, it freezes up, and it's like a big giant anaconda, and what do I do with it? So we have ways to spool up. So again, we have convenience products just to say, okay, when I get to the campsite, I'm just going to enjoy it more. Yeah. And then we have things like aftermarket TV mounts. People say, you know what, the TV is great, but it won't swivel, it won't tilt. Right. Or you know what, I'm looking up at it. And so a full line of TV mounts that are designed specifically for RVs. So the categories are broad, and it's just all about how do we make stuff good, how do we stand behind it, and how we help them enjoy their RV more.
Sure, and so for our owners and retail customers, people that are going to enter the market and they want to start doing research and looking at your extensive online catalog, let's talk a little bit about then support, right? So they say, hey, we have a Heartland product, a Cruiser product, a DRV Luxury Suites, other manufactured brand as well. How are we sure that it's going to fit? Can you kind of just speak to the support, whether you have a hotline or access for them to call and confirm that it's going to be retrofittable to their unit?
So that's a great point. It'd be great if every MORryde product is you just bought it and it fit on everything. Well, It doesn't, because manufacturers build custom RVs.
Yep.
They do. Heartland does it because they know exactly what they think the customer wants. Mm-hmm. And so we're designing our product to fit specifically. So you're right. You have to have fit information. Yep. So the best way to do that is on our website, MORryde.com. We'll actually have qualification data. So click on this and it'll give you all the measurements. Oh, I got to go check this or I got to measure this. Sometimes what you can do though is bypass that and call us, 574-293-1581, or go to our sales@MORryde.com or parts@MORryde.com and say, hey, I've got a Heartland Cyclone.
Yep.
Will your safety rail fit? And the reality is we've seen them enough that we can say, oh yeah, I know exactly what you need.
Yeah.
And so if they reach out to us, we can tap into that because we know the Heartland product so well. We can say, oh yeah, this is what you need to fit your application.
And I just think it's really important, again, for people to know and be comfortable that you guys are a great aftermarket supplier that will provide great support, so you guys will all have a great buying journey or experience with MORryde. Another thing I want to speak to that I really give you guys a lot of credit. It can be overwhelming buying an RV. Thinking about it, talking about it, and then having this big rig sitting in your driveway, or taking that maiden voyage. One thing that I give you guys a lot of credit for too is you do have a lot of videos out there, and this year in 2022 we did a lot in the way of innovation and developing an owner's app that's free to everybody to download on Google Play and the App Store. And one of the things that we've done is just like this podcast, anything that's a topic that's of interest to folks, they can go download it, watch it. And one thing I'm going to say here during this interview is we will work hard to make sure that we're adding your content as well. That's going to be standard on some of our products, so people can be more comfortable with all of the accessories that you supply us on the OEM side. But just want to let everybody know you guys do have a vast video library of your innovation as well for aftermarket products as well.
Yeah, it's necessary today, and we have meetings almost every week or two to say, okay, what else do we need? What else do we need? So we're constantly shooting video. When units come here to our service department and we see something that's unique, it's like, oh, let's go capture that on video. So you're exactly right. We're just trying to feed content out there.
Yeah, and the one thing that's been consistent since the moment I met you, you never stop listening. So I just want to thank you for taking some time, kind of give us a little update of 2022. You and I, like I said, we're going to get our running sneakers on. Right. It's going to be busy here starting off in January. If you guys want more information about MORryde and all of their products, you can go to, what's the website again?
So www.MORryde.com. That's MORryde.com.
And I look forward to seeing you guys, and I'm sure Jack does too, on the road this show season. I'm Will Miller, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast, brought to you by Heartland RVs. Stay tuned for our next destination.